What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. I hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. All right, so I'm going to start off by telling you guys I just hit it with a live stream. All right, and maybe I'll do these at, pivotal spots. I'll pop in on a live and I'll let you guys know what's going on. All right. But, I'm going to quickly just put together a 5-10 minute video, just quickly going over my thoughts here on where we are right now in the charts. And yeah, I do think we are still in... we're still in a reaction spot. So, there we go. All right. So first things first, let's start off with the daily time frame. All right. And QQ, you can see, all right, we had the increasing sell volume there. We had SPX's increasing sell volume over here. SPY did not have it, but SPX is the big boy. So if you see me on my Webull updates, refer to QQ and SPX. All right. Just know I use QQ. Why QQ and not NDX? All right. NDX doesn't freaking have volume. Why? I have absolutely no idea. So, there's that. All right. But yeah, QQ had the increase in sell volume. SPX had the increase in sell volume. That suggests that sellers were going to be getting their way. How do sellers get the way? They get it with a gap down or taking price underneath yesterday's low. They got both of those today. All right. Now, yesterday in yesterday's Webull update, I did say that I thought this was going to be a bear trap. All right. And I'm just going to show you guys what's going on with Mr. VIX right now. And, this is kind of something that is, supporting that. All right. So the last time we were at 60 on the RSI was literally right here. All right. It was the day before you went up and you had 2 more days of like really big rallies here on VIX. All right. And guess what? All right. 2 days later, your market's bottom. All right. So Monday, March 13th. So let's come over to QQ. Let's just actually see. All right. If you were to actually buy in long before the actual bottom, I actually also want to see this. So it would have been, yeah, it would have been this day right here. You were taking your shorts, or you would be taking your longs here, and you suffered a $7 loss. All right, so there's that. All right, so just know, like, that is a thing. All right, and that's what I like doing here on the channel, guys. All right, I'm not claiming to know it all, not at all. All right, but what I am claiming to do is we will review all of the information on the board, all the factors that are on the table. All right, that is what we will put under our mental microscope here in these videos. So. There's that. So just know, like, hey, there's a risk. All right. There is a risk. You can definitely come down and come lower. All right. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. What I am saying is it's like if you do that, it's going to be the same scenario as what happened over here, where VIX's RSI is going to hike on up to the point where, this is where, unless you're crashing, unless the market's actually going through a crash, but I can tell you right now, probably not going to be crashing as everyone's, record short right now. It's just not going to happen. It's going to be the same exact scenarios over here where VIX tops out, people pile in short, and then they get squoze. All right. And in reality, I do think if this isn't the bottom here, I'm going to just say right here, all right, we're going to come down to this next reaction spot. And like, I don't think they would take it down here to 308.20, because what that would do is it would break this low. Now they can, if they want the most devious trap possible, they could do that. Okay, but that would be getting your $8 to $7 low. That would be what we just talked about. Your risk, your max risk that happened like in this scenario over, where did we just bring this up? Over here. All right. So this was over here. All right. If that's going to happen, like, hey, there's that. All right. But I'm also going to show you right here on SPY. All right. Your CCI is, and this is on SPY, SPX, ES, all of them. All right. They all have the same exact thing. And then I'm actually going to show you guys the 4-hour RSI and show you guys why. Like, hey, if we're not at a bottom here, like, we're very close to one. I'm just going to say that. And like, hey, guys, I'm not right about everything. I promise that's just never going to be the case. All right. So you're setting yourself up for disappointment if you think that's going to be the case. But look at this. You're pushing back up to the daily high. All right. So, like, yeah, you clear as they do see buyers were trying to defend this level. All right. What I was saying in the live stream is like, holy crap. If this candlestick, this 4-hour candlestick gets back into this wedge here, that's sexy. We know what time frame is being respected, because look at this on the hourly time frame. You clear as day had your breaks down, your closes underneath it, and there you go. But yeah, this is also why, like, guys, reaction spots. Maybe people think my charts are messy. To me, these like make so much sense to me. All right, they really do. It's just a continuous flow of information. If you can't make sense of your flow of if you don't have a flow of information, then get one. All right, and that's that. And if you don't know how to do so, guys, just know I am putting together a course on my my trading, or not my trading, definitely not my trading. All right, just know that trading is a whole different thing. All right, what's going into this course is 100% charting. All right, it is 100% how someone could go from 0 to hero on charting. All right, trading is a whole nother ball game, so don't think just because you could chart, don't think you're gonna immediately go over to be a consistently profitable trader. I could tell you from experience that is not at all the case. I promise. All right, it's just not going to be the case. If it's not the case with me, it's very unlikely to be the case with you. All right, and that's just that. But what I can continuously show proof of concept at this point in time, and what I have done for months now, is charting. So I am at the point where I think I could take someone through, you know, getting there. And look at this. This is the exact impulsive reaction you do want to see when you are taking your shot at these reaction spots. All right, this is the exact thing you want to see. What are we looking like now, huh? What are we looking like now? We're looking green now. We're looking up 10% now. All right. And like, yeah, guys, I am gonna put out that free course. It's gonna be free. It's gonna be on teachable.com. I don't know if I have to pay to be up there. I'm not sure. We're like, if I do have to pay, hopefully it's like $10 a month, and I could just have that, because I do want to have a free course out there, just to really show anybody, hey, if you want to learn, I got you. All right. That's just how it be. All right. We're here to share. That is the point of this channel. We're here to grow as a community, and there we go. All right. But yeah, there's going to be that. Now, until that course does get released, you guys feel completely free, all right? Like, I know people charge hundreds for courses, all right? If you don't know what to do, and like, I'm going to say right now, if you do think like $40 is a lot per month, or like $1.30 is a day for getting full access to like watching someone do what you want to learn, like, you know, in real time, continuously on the spot, all the time, all right? And then you also get access to asking that individual question. That's what I make available for $40. If I like started trading with this, holy crap, I would have loved this service. That's all I'm getting at. I would have loved to be a part of that Discord. All right, so I'm just going to say there is going to be a free course to really just show anybody who is a newbie out there, just to show you how to do it. Like, clear cutthroat, this is how you do it, all right? It's going to not be one giant video. It's going to be, you know, individuals videos for each topic, right? There's going to be that. But yeah, I'm serious. Like, if you want to just see how it's done in real time, there's that. Now, you're also going to get trades that are continuously paired up with that, and that's also something that I don't see anybody else having, all right? Do not take this as me trying to sell anyone. I don't. That's why you've heard me, like, I've stopped mentioning the Discord. I've tried to not mention it, because I don't want to be taken as someone who's selling. I don't, like, that's, at the end of the day, not what I want to be seen as. That's not what I want to even, like, I'm not, okay? I'm not. It's simply like, hey, if you want help, don't buy a freaking course. Buy a $40 subscription. Leave after the first month, all right? Leave because you learned, all right? That is, like, and if you don't want, and, you know, you just want to keep, you know, like, having the opportunities and the setups pop up each and every day. Well, not each and every day, probably like most days. Then there you go. You could stay in it. But again, $40 for 1 month to like, you can go, like, I'm not saying 0 to hero, but that's what that course, that's going to be the goal of that. All right, I'm going to stop talking about it. I just wanted to let you guys know that will be coming out within the next 2 weeks. So there will be that free course there for people to learn. All right, so I will not have to sit here describing my charting to anybody who wants to take the time. You could go spend a few hours, you could go take my free course. All right, there will be that. All right, but yeah, let's get back on with the charts, guys. So we're coming down here with this next reaction spot here on QQ. So this is what I was saying on the live stream, just like literally, if you like, yeah, like I got off the live stream right before I started recording this video. What I was saying over there was that if you don't hold up right here, right, the next reaction spot is going to be right here at 316. All right. Or no, what I was saying, if you don't hold up at 316, next reaction spot is going to be 314.94. All right. And that's the gap fill. And what I was saying is like, hey, at these gap fills, this is just where one side runs out the door and the other side runs in the door. It's just an exchange of a position. Imagine like you're stealing like from like a diamond, like in the movies, right? And they have the motion, like they have the weight sensors, and you know, you got to take the diamond, but you got to put something in there to make all the sensors and the alarms not go off, right? Well, that's what the buyers and sellers are doing, all right? So the weight of these positions is the same. They're just shifting them around, so then price freaking moves, all right? That's how I look at it, at least. I don't know, all right? Maybe that was random. I don't know. Okay, but you clear as day do see these, these gap fills are the reaction spots. All right, and we actually do have a new reaction spot here on SPY. All right, so hey, look for a temporary reversal if you do see prices come up to 407.77. But yeah, look at this 404.35. All right, you see it's dark green. That's because it was a previous filled gap. Nevertheless, it still held its, it's still the buyer still held the line there. So there's that. All right, let me just Jesus fuck. Big Mama Whale, yo. That's like mind-blowing numbers right there. I'm going to be honest. That's kind of crazy. Holy sweet baby Jesus. You're that confident in this move? Hey, I'm like with you, dude. I'm with you. That's what I was saying. Like, hey, this thing really does look like a glorious bear trap to me, just like we had like not too long ago. And you can go further down. I'm not saying you can't. But again, it's going to be what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. VIX is going to freaking just rocket very quick. People are going to pile into short positions on the market. And then there you go. You're going to have one sick, nasty short squeeze again. All right. So like, yeah, you're either going to have VIX cool off down here, get rejected here. You're going to get sucked back underneath 2020. I think that is the top of this. Yeah. So just about 2020. You're going to get sucked under 2020. You're going to close in there. Or you're going to see the bear, you're going to see a mother of all bear traps go down again where VIX rockets up here and we're going to get another glorious long opportunity, all right? If not, it's just going to be a normal long opportunity here, all right? Which, like, your boy has already pulled the trigger on. There is that, all right? Yeah, guys, over here on the 4-hour time frame, like, look at this perfect wedge going on right here. Being respected on the 4-hour chart, all right? On the hourly time frame, you did break down, all right? Yeah, guys, like this is sexy stuff. This is what you want to see. This reaction right here. This is the bulls making their comeback. This is that squeeze and McSqueeze I was just getting at, the trifecta. All right, which actually, you know what? I did that and whatever it's called. Let me actually bring this up real quick. All right. Real quick, let me bring this up. I did this in the live stream right at the end, but I'm just going to quickly read this. So this is my post from this morning, and I was tired when I wrote this, so don't mind it. Okay, don't mind some of my language in here. It's not harsh language. It's just sloppy. It's just not grammatically correct. Okay. Here are my main takeaways from what was said yesterday. Rates are restrictive in Jerome's eyes. He said they were sufficiently restricted. They're like right at that level. All right. Paraphrasing on all of these. 2, rate hikes will be paused at the next meeting. He didn't outright say this, but there were a lot of freaking hints on that one. All right. 3, regional banks are safe, but then PAC-W falls 50% after hours the same day. What the heck, dude? All right. So do we trust Jerome? I don't know. 4, many committee members were willing to pause at this meeting. Yes. All right. 5, GDP growth is slower than normal. So again, it's a grammatical error. I woke up and did this. All right. 6, no wage price spiral. There you go. 7, they will be significantly reducing the size of the balance sheet. They mentioned this at every single FOMC, all right? I don't count on that one. 8, inflation is still well above the long-term goal of 2%. Yes, it is. 9, rate pivot is off of the table, all right? So rate cut is off of the table, all right? I think it's going to happen, like down the line. I agree. I don't think they could do that right now. It's going to signal that, like, hey, we need the market crash. We're probably going to have one sick, nasty short squeeze before that. But then you're going to have your market crash. That's what signals to everyone that, like, hey, things are bad. All right. I don't think they can do that. 10, soft landing is not off the table in Jerome's eyes. In my eyes, off the table, right? Because we're in an inflationary environment right now. The only way you get out of this is by entering a deflationary environment. That needs demand destruction, right? That's like literally what causes that. All right. And then guess what? All right. What causes demand destruction? A recession. All right. So yeah, we're likely gonna go through a pretty sick, nasty recession where, things, it's like, guys, unless you're like in this, like, unless you're in the lower class, it's probably gonna be decently normal. All right. I know like things are gonna like sound bad in the media and stuff, but it's gonna be decently lower or decently normal. All right. So just know that. All right. So let me read my thoughts here. Powell didn't kill the markets yesterday. And for this reason, I think we see the options market start to unwind. I don't think they'll pay out all these puts I'm seeing on SPX and SPY and SPX. Puts just outweigh the calls across the board since we didn't get any catalyst to kill the market, and even another regional bank collapse didn't scare the market overnight. I think we see the market respond naturally here. That would come with upward price action. Maybe there is a bear trap to suck in more bears, but I don't see a reason to tank right now, and dealers definitely don't want it to tank right now without having a big shakeout. I am guessing many were betting on FOMC as a big catalyst to tank markets, and now that it hasn't happened, if people just let go of their hedges, prices will naturally rise. All right, so all I'm suggesting in those, I don't know what I was saying here. I don't know. I'll go over in a bit. Okay, so there's that. All right, so I just want to show you guys, like, hey, all right, nothing really was crazy that Powell said. He pretty much said recession is up in the air, at least how I interpreted what he was saying. All right, he walked around that one. All right, clearly it did, you do see the market did not like something that he was saying. I don't know what it was exactly was, right? But like how I interpreted what Powell said is like, hey guys, all right, the banking fiasco is under control. All right, and everything's not so bad. And yeah, I just went over it. Like, that's it. Like, nothing in there is like really like, things are terrible. And he also, I think he said it with the debt ceiling. Pretty much, I mean, he said a pretty good thing about the debt ceiling, I believe. And again, paraphrasing. All this is paraphrasing, right? I didn't take my own notes, all right? I am going off the top of my head here. All right. But he was saying that the debt ceiling does not need to, it doesn't need to result in like a default or something else, all right? He was pretty much saying we don't need a fight over the debt ceiling. If I'm remembering correctly, that is what he was saying, all right? And again, paraphrasing. I am, I'm not a market genius or anything like that, all right? I'm just someone, these are all the factors that I'm looking at, all right? And I'm going to bring them to you guys, all right? So there's that. But yeah, let's come over here, all right? I think I did show you guys this already, but let's just look at this right now, all right? You do have your CCI down here in oversold territory where, like, this is where you start bouncing, guys. And it doesn't have to be the biggest bounce, but bottom to top there, that was a 2% bounce right there, all right? And then, yeah, you came down, you formed the bullish divergence, all right? And then from the bottom that we're speaking about right now, you went up 3.36% from there, all right? Over here, this is where you were here this day. All right. Well, yeah, it was that day. All right. So you're here this day. And from the low that day, all right, before having a decent sized bounce, you went another 1.3% lower. All right. So from there, it ended up, you had about a 1% bounce from the low right there. All right. I'm just saying the CCI is getting to a point where you're probably going to start, like, even if price doesn't start impulsively bouncing like it did over here. All right. It's going to start turning around. All right, it's going to start, like, consolidating. That's the word for it. It's going to start consolidating. All right, just like over here, this is where that happens. Okay, over here when you hit it on the CCI down here, all right, you were literally right here. You went, like, it looks like 1% lower, yeah, 1.3% lower, and then you had a mega rip. All right, and hey, it's not that way over here on QQ and NQ yet. All right, but you do see on SPY, SPX, and ES. All of your CCIs are down here. Now let's talk about on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so we'll use QQ for this. All right, use QQ because, sexy setup there. I really do, guys. I love charting QQ over SPY. All right, I love trading QQ over SPY. It's just so much cleaner. It is so much freaking cleaner to do everything on this bad boy right here. All right. But yeah, right here. So I'm going to point out you do have your CCI over in oversold territory. This is on the 4-hour time frame. All right. Now your RSI did start popping up. It was down here. I swear it was down here. All right. So this is your risk, guys. You can start going lower here. You can. All right. Because look at this. From here last time, you had this bounce. That was a $2 bounce there. All right. This is why, like, guys, reaction spots, they'll give you your money. All right. The vast majority of the time, you just got to take it quick. Sometimes, like, a lot of the time, hey, the moves will actually play out, and there you go. You get to take a lot of money. But, regardless, on each one of these edges that pop up, at least how I made mine, all right, around each one of these reaction spots, they'll at least give you the quick 10 to 20%, depending on what contract you're picking, and you can take that off the top. And there you go. Like, literally just got that. All right, there we go. And I didn't even get the best entry there, all right? If I, wasn't live, I probably would have taken a better entry there. All right, but I didn't. And I still got to pull like 10% out of it. So, like, that's what I'm saying. All right. Scale in and out as you please. All right. And, flow with your market. There you go. All right. But yeah, down here on the RSI, guys, you can come like lower. So from where you hit that, you did end up going, this is $4 lower from that peak though, or from when you bounced, you went $6 lower there. All right, so we can go lower. It can, or it could be something like this where you start just bouncing here, and we clearly can see buyers are stepping in. You also do have this bullish divergence popping up right there, and on the hourly time frame, you do have the RSI giving off a bullish divergence as well as the CCI. So both of these do have the bullish divergence popping up right there, and you also do have 1 inch stochastic. All right, but now you come down to the 15-minute time frame. You also have the same thing over here on the CCI. All right, so you clear as day do see, all right, like, you know, you have the signals, you have the buyers actually stepping in. So you have proof of concept here that buyers are defending where we are right now. All right, which is why, like, hey, I'm just saying that's why I was making the live. Like, I went live earlier. I was like, hey, this is a spot. This is a spot. Big, like, action is going down. All right. But yeah, coming back over to the 4 hour, and it's on all of them, guys. It's not just on one of them. All right. I guess we'll do it here. All right, let me actually just take off my arrow here. All right. Make it normal there. All right, then we're going to go like that. And now we're going to do this. Okay, so you got that going on. You have that. So where were you here? You were here. All right, were you here? You were here. 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 Oh, crap, my arrow's gone. My arrow. Down here, you're here. Okay, so like I'm just saying, even when you're finding yourself in that downtrend, all right, like, hey, you're still getting into a spot where the RSI is going to be bouncing. All right, does that come with a bullish divergence? I don't know. All right, I don't know, but I do know it's likely that we do start finding a bottom. All right, yes, temporary bottom, not the bottom. This isn't a down here. This isn't a bottom like these, right? Where like it's the bottom. No. All right. I'm just pointing out like, hey, price is going to start bouncing. It's going to start doing it soon. All right. Even if you're in that downtrend, look at that. Even over here. All right. Let's just take a look over here. Your RSI is still going to stay down here and it's going to consolidate. All right. Yeah, you did go like a decent amount down. I will say that. All right. So right here, yeah, that's a 3% before you had any decent bounce there. All right, so like, you know, like there's that, but I'm still, you know, my point stands here. We're at a point where you are going to see that bounce. All right, and again, if they're gonna start that move down, then we can see what I just pointed out here, where you do have that 3% move lower once your RSI does start getting down here. But like, no, if they don't start that, and you know, if I'm thinking right about this, they're not going to pay out those puts, because if they start bringing it down here, SPY's very close to 4 or 5. You're probably bouncing at the 400 call wall or the put wall. All right, so like, and you got this gap fill down here at 40160. So like the next reaction spot, if SPY starts losing here, all right, like starts losing the 404.35, like the previous gap fill, that's causing your bounce here. All right, if you lose that, like I'm just going to be watching 40160. All right, I don't think you're going to start losing these levels, because if you do, it's going to be like I was mentioning earlier, the dealers are getting squeezed, or I think it was either in the live stream I said this or it was in here. All right, you either got the dealers getting squeezed or the dealers do the squeezing. All right, when you have a bunch of open interest and when you have a catalyst just shove prices down because everyone panic sells or something like that. All right, so price just gets shoved down. The dealer has no option but to like go with the flow, and he has to just, dude, he has to hedge up and he has to flip short. All right, that's what happens if he doesn't want to be losing money. That's what he has to do in that moment. All right, or you know, if you don't have a catalyst forcing prices down and you're at a technical level here, like a bounce spot, like a reaction spot, all right, a logical place for buyers to step in. Well, now it's in the dealer's best interest to punish the greedy. All right, it is in the dealer's best interest to now squeeze anybody who's not taking the profits on the shorts, and then they're going to be able to squeeze out that open interest. All right, so and that's why I say, like, it's either the dealers getting squeezed or it's the dealers doing the squeezing. All right, I don't think the dealers are about to get squeezed unless we get a black swan event. Which could be, I don't know, Apple earnings, like everyone knows about it. We can't treat that as the black swan, man. We cannot. Let's bring up Apple right here. All right, so bring up Apple. All right, so Apple over here. All right, I'm just going to point out, it's the same thing I was just pointing out. All right, you're down here on your RSI. All right, like even if you do go a little lower, you're not going much lower before you get that bounce, right? You can't, like, I guess you can go decently lower. Like, let's really look at this. You're coming down here. If you start really falling off a cliff, this is where you're probably going to be bouncing. It's going to be right here. Let's put my freaking arrow back on. I miss my arrow so much. Come on, baby. There you go. All All right. There you go. There you go. But yeah, straight up here, like, do you see what I'm getting at, guys? All right. Like, you know, you're going to come down here. I guess that is a decent sized move down, but that's what I'm saying. All right. You're going to have that move down. You're not going to fall off a cliff like I'm sure a lot of people are betting on. And then, like, yeah, the dealers get to pay off some people, but the greedy still get squeezed after that. And that's even with like a type of a black swan event. Like, that's after hours. They don't, maybe they do know what's going to happen. But I'm just going to say, if I was a dealer and I knew I could do what I wanted to do here, and I knew the Apple earnings weren't going to completely, you know, debacle my move here, I would send this thing up. Look at this thing. Just like technically speaking, this thing is sound to start, you know, rallying off of Apple earnings. All right. That would be at least what looks like to me. And again, if you don't rally off of here, all right, you're going to come down here and you're probably going to find support here. That's where I would be looking for buyers step in here on Apple. When you start seeing buyers step in there, all right, that is when everything starts going up. All right. And again, it's the same thing. But here's also the thing. If you get down there, I can't imagine, like, if you have Apple tanking, I can't imagine SPY is going to open up around 400. They're going to squeeze the crap out of this thing. That's all I would see happening. So, like, you know, that's what I'm getting at, guys. I'm just saying, like, it's, you come up here, you go down a little more, and you start getting that bounce. And I don't want to make it sound like, you know, I think I know this is a bear trap. All right, I don't know this is a bear trap. All right, we could start this crash for all I'm concerned here. All right, we can. All right, but it doesn't make sense, right? We don't have a reason to go down. That's what I'm getting at. All right. So I mentioned the trifecta. All right, we have a bunch of people that were hedged with puts for FOMC. What do we also have? That means we have a short squeeze available. So a short squeeze is there for the taking. So we have plenty of short fuel out there. All right. And then what happens if people now post-event start cutting their hedge because you didn't see the move and you don't want to get demolished here? All right. Well, now the dealer gets to unhedge. All right. And now that sends prices up. That sending prices up gives birth to the glorious, at least what I think is a pretty solid bear trap setup what we're rocking with right now. Like, this is sexy. All right. This is like, we are down here and I was literally speaking in the live stream. I was like, guys, if you're positioned to the point where you're crapping your pants over this, just realize you're 110%, you're over positioned. All right. Because I was sitting there just talking and like, hey, he was doing this. And I was just, hey, I'm just like, hey, literally, like, this is what, like, I don't know what's going to happen, but like, this is where things are going to be happening. And if they're going to happen, all right, it was right here at 314.94. You're going to start getting buyers stepping in. You got your buyers stepping in. All right. Look at that. It does look like you're getting rejection off the bat, though. Look at that. Just back and forth between reaction spots. Like, there is money to be pulled out of this market on the daily. So much freaking money. All right. There is that. What was it saying? All right. Look at that. Look at that. That is not actually looking, that's not looking sexy. I'm going to tell you guys right now. This on SPY over here, not looking sexy. QQQ, it's looking all right. All right. It is, in my personal opinion, QQ is looking pretty sexy. All right. But yeah, all right, guys. I don't want to talk in circles. I'm sure that is what I'm going to do if I keep talking here. All right, so I don't want to do that. You do have the hourly bullish divergence on the RSI and the CCI over here on QQQ, ready to come into your 314.94 gap fill, your reaction spot. That is exactly where you want to see this impulsive move come out of if you are taking a long. All right, if you are short, you don't want to see this thing hold up. All right, if you are short, you want to see this thing completely get rejected here at this range here. All right, and if you do, you're going to be watching the 15-minute and the hourly time frame. All right, and especially the hourly time frame. If you come back down here, let's say you start heading back down here, you got to close underneath here. Well, now you're coming under here. All right, but again, I'm serious, guys. This is where reactions are going to happen. This is where the action is lying right now. So that's just my thought. All right. Actually, let's come over here to over here. All right, guys, so we're in the same sitch. So this is what I was saying back over here. This is when people thought the market was going to fall off a cliff and IWM was our canary in the coal mine. All right, well, guess what? All right, IWM's RSI is coming back down here, coming down to oversold territory. All right, so even if you do start getting that sell-off, we're still going to be looking for that squeeze. All right, there's going to be that. I don't think it's safe to play the short side right now. That's what I'm getting at. I just don't. And all right, guys, I think that is pretty much it. With that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one. Be safe out there. Do what you got to do. And peace.